Okay, this is a playthrough of Blood Bowl 2020 on Tabletop Simulator using Virgon's workshop tools. The only things that I've added to it are an overlay that I use when I'm streaming Tabletop on Fumble, which is appropriate because it's a tabletop simulator. So I might as well include that as well. So in order to set it up, I loaded the pitch on from the workshop, and then I loaded two teams. So I loaded the teams by opening by going to games and then workshop and then these three dots and then expand and then pulling the teams in from there. As well as that, I've used this color palette here, which is pretty cool, to change the color of the skill rings so that a Wraith has got guard, for example. So those two Wraiths have got guard. So these are 1-1-5 tournament teams. I've got Necro against Black Orcs. Black Orcs because they come in the box and are quite interesting, and Necro because they've been recently re-released and are quite interesting as well, and they've got these Wraiths. As well as that, these are two of the more Blood Bowl-y teams. All the Blood Bowl teams are available in Virgon's workshop. Some of them have got weapons and things. As you can see here, the flesh columns are carrying large cleavers, but let's pretend the ref can't see those. Some of the teams have got big weapons and things, and some of them haven't. So these are the teams that I've chosen to demo with. So I'm doing Black Orcs against Necro, so let's change that so it says Black Orc there. No, let's do it the other way around. Let's change that to Necro and that to Black Orc. So that should update. Cool. Then so I'm just going to play through a few turns just to show how the whole thing works. The other thing I've done is you've got the dice up here. So there's two options when you're using dice. You've got the dice roller, and then you've got a bag of dice as well. So to get the dice out, I right-clicked on there, clicked search, and then just dragged dice out of the box. And that gave me the dice down here so that I could use those and just roll them. So to roll a dice, I just hover over it and then click R a few times, bounce it around, and that allows you to roll the dice. Okay, and there's a random number generator in there that decides where the dice is going to go. It looks like it's rolling it, but in fact it's sort of generating a new number based on an RNG. Got a ball as well, which came from somewhere, can't quite remember, but the ball is available as well. So the way that you show what a person has done, and the other thing as well, I've trimmed the screen so you can't see some of the user interface, the UI at the top. That's just so that it fits better on my screen. So when you actually load up this stuff, you will be able to see some buttons a bit more. Okay, so and the other thing I'm using is there's a scatter template, but I won't worry about that. I'm just using 1, 2, 3 across the top, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But obviously you can use whatever scatter template you want. Use that one, it's easier. So the way you show what people are doing, so there's my goblin, that's him standing up. If I click 2, he gets knocked down while hovering over him. If I click 3, he's stunned. If I click 4, he's carrying the ball. If I click 5, he's hypnotized. Okay, so that's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then the troll has got a 6 as well, and that shows him being really stupid. I'll put them back to 1. The other thing I can do is if I hover over a person and click E, that rotates them. If I click Q, it rotates them back. And I'm going to use that to show whether a player has moved or not. So I will need to I'll go over them and I'll reset them all to facing me at the end of the turn. Okay, so with Tabletop Simulator, you roll all the dice yourself, basically. So let's roll for the weather. So I just select the 2 dice using a left click. Oh yes, the other thing is about moving people around. So if I use the mouse wheel, zoom in and zoom out. If I hold the mouse wheel and move around, that's how I pan. And if I right click and move around, that rotates. So they're the main ones. And then left click is to hold stuff and move things around. And then use the keyboard shortcuts as well. So let's roll for the weather. The more you click R, the higher it goes. So nice weather, that's fine. And then the only time I'm going to use the dice roller is for this, to demonstrate sort of how it works, I guess, is if I click there, it flips the coin for me. So Necro chooses heads, and it is heads, so Necro win. So So they choose to kick because they are sensible people. That means Black Orcs are receiving. The first thing I do, Goblins have got 12. Sorry, Black Orcs have got 12 players, so I have to put 1 in the sidelines. I've skill ringed up, so I've got 2 with Guard, which is green. Wrestle Ghoul, which I'm using grey for because all of these are white. So I could change these all to black and then have white for Wrestle. I might do at some point, but not where we are at the moment. So I'm just going to pop the zombies on the line. You just left click, so left and drag, and then I'm going to pop, let's put the Ghoul there. Hoping that Lodge protects him in case he gets blitzed. A couple of Wraiths on the outside. And then the sort of slightly more fragile ones at the back. Not sure, obviously, rest and block difference. But obviously, we're not going to play all the turns here. Let's just check. So we should have, so we've got 3 rerolls each. Oh yeah, worth saying as well. Sorry, I'm jumping about a bit just as I remember stuff. So we've got the score trackers here. So if you were just playing against someone else and you weren't bothered about streaming, then you could just use the reroll markers and the turn markers. I'm using the overlay that I've used for Tabletop before, but if you were just playing individually, everything you need is on this workshop, and all the teams fit and everything like that. So it's really good. So there's the Necro setup. Let's delete that ball. Delete that thing. And let's set up. I'm going to set up to beat these dudes up basically. So I've got a troll there. I've got some guard. Got some mighty blow. Bit more mighty blow, bit more block, and then the unskilled ones I'm going to keep back. Well, keep the guard back. Put the guard on the line, and then let's vaguely protect the things here. Let's go with that one. Okay, and so then here's the ball. Stick it on his head. And kick off. So we use a D6 and we use a D8. Select both of those and click double R a couple of times. Good luck. Have fun. 3 in direction 5. So I'm going to use scatter template 1, 2, 3. And then kick off using 2D6. So I select both of those. Give them a whack. And 4 and 6 is Blitz. How exciting. So Necro get a Blitz. So I'm going to hover over that and give it a good shake. So that's D3 plus 3, isn't it? So that's 5 players get to move. That's going to be Mr. Werewolf. I think it's going to come through and blitz this goblin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's do that first. Okay, so what I'm going to do actually, just to demonstrate, is show that these players cannot move. I'm queuing those, pressing Q, and they've turned. And then I'm going to move this guy to here. So you can either count out squares, or you can just do it. And then I'm going to blitz with, let's blitz with the Mighty Blow Werewolf, why not? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Grab a couple of block dice, let's stick those over there. Hover over them and give the R a whack. Oh, that's rubbish. Right. Here goes first reroll. So Necro, let's reduce the rerolls. And then let's try again, because that was pretty poor. Don't want the werewolf. A pow, that'll. So I have to follow up. Oh, the other thing I was going to use, so if I click on objects at the top, and then click components and marbles, I was going to use a blitzing marble, basically, which seems quite cool. Because for some reason I find it harder on this than on Tabletop to remember. Maybe it's just because I'm talking at the same time. But I did find it a bit hard when I was doing it earlier to remember where someone had started blitzing from. I'm just using that marble as a blitz token. 7, so that's 7. So he got hit, and so he's down. So I immediately put him to, I pressed 2 to put him to down. And then I'm going to roll a couple of dice for the armor roll, looking for 7s. I got 6. 6 plus 1 is 7, so that's Mighty Blow, so it didn't work. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Just go 1 more space on that one because I've used the reroll. So we're going to use the reroll. Oh, no, wait a second. New rules. Can't use rerolls. Let's stick to that. Let's stick to the actual rules of the game. And remember that we cannot use rerolls on our own turn. So he's down, but actually I'm down as well, and it's a turnover. So go with that, and let's see what happens to the armor roll. So he's fine. Interesting. Okay, so then the ball comes down there, and then it scatters. Sorry, hover over it, and then give it a shake using R. 6 goes to there, and then it's Necro. It's sorry, Black Orc turn 1. So I'm just going to flip it to turn 1 there. Okay, so ball is back there. So let's bring Mr. Black Orc back. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bring a goblin back to there. He's going to pick it up in a minute. I've got him next. Oh, sorry. First thing I'm going to do is move these guys back. So I'm going to press E on these guys at the end of the turn. Just get them all facing. I'm going to face them basically facing me if they've gone, and then facing sideways if they haven't gone. And then the troll. Oh yeah, the troll's got a bonehead thing. Stupid. Right. So let's start with the troll, shall we? He's got 3 dice, and he's got blocks. So triple skulls is the only thing that would go wrong, or in fact really stupid. So I hover over him and I click 6, and then I get a little really stupid thing over the top, which is pretty cool. So instead of that, I'm going to block with Black Orc 3. So worth saying at this point, I have renamed things. So Black Orc 3B is because he's the 3rd Black Orc and he's got blocks. So you can just type anything you want in there. So you say I'm blocking with Black Orc 3. Use the dice. Give him a good shake. Got pow. I'm going to use grab, because, why not? And I am going to follow up. I'm going to pop him on his bottom, and then I'm going to shake some dice. Yep, let's select. Just going to move them closer to each other, but then I've selected both of them. Right, so I'll just select those 2 and give those a good shake. He's fine. So Troll is stupid. That rotates the dice as well. Fantastic. So actually, let's rotate the Black Orc that way. And obviously he's gone, he's gone, he's gone. So I'm just hovering over them and pressing Q to show that they have gone. To do that, there's a 90 degree at the top, which starts as 15 degrees. So I've changed it to 90 degrees so that Q and E rotate people by 90 degrees. So we'll probably go and pick up the ball at some point, but let's do some more hitting first. So Black Orc 2 is going to hit. Give the dice a good whack. Right, let's use Brawler to reroll just that one. Good skill. See what happens. Oh, rerolled into a skull. Disappointing. Okay, so he goes. So Brawler not so good a skill, as it turns out. Let's give those a shake. Oh, he's through the armor. Oh no. And KO'd. So I'm going to pick him up and pop him in the KO'd box. Disappointing. And now it's Necro turn 1. So at the end of that turn, I'm just going to click E on all of the players just to get them facing front again. Failed to stand up that goblin. Failed to do anything about that. Failed to do lots of good things. So actually, all I really want to do here is stand up with a chap and run through. But let's do some sensible things first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 into there. Click Q, and then I'm going to do a 3 dice block with the flesh golem on the goblin. Brings around to there, and give those a good shake. And looking for a pow. No, just got push. Let's push it to there and follow. Click Q. Oops. You've got to be hovering over someone for it to take any effect. Right, so what have we got? Let's stand him up by pressing 1. 1. Yep. So he's now standing. Fantastic. Let's just bring in the goblin there. Golem, sorry. Oh, sorry, Q is what I was using, wasn't it? And sideways. Let's just bring up the ghoul runner. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, maybe to there. Let's bring this one up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And a Q. Bring the werewolf to lurk. Oops, sorry. Should be that way. Bring that one up just a wee bit more. Oops, I'm turning all of these for some reason. There we go. Right, and then I'm going to blitz with him. Right, so where did my marble go? Lost it. I'm going to remember he's next to the goblin. So you can use components and things. Let's put the D16 there in a minute. Right, so I'm going to blitz with him. So first up, don't rotate him. So I stand him up, clicking 1, and just have to run 1. There he goes. Right, so 3, 4, 5, 6. 2 dice block. Got the POW, fantastic. Have to follow. He's knocked down. So I use a 2, so that was 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Do the armor roll. Not through. Mighty blow is not so good. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's go for it onto the ball. So pick up 1 dice, give it a good shake. We're looking for not 1s, picking up on 3s. Failed, so I will use a reroll on that because now I'm allowed. That. See if we can get the ball. Right, he's got the ball, fantastic. So the reason I wanted to do that, oops, let me do that. So that's one option, is he's standing on top of the ball. But actually, a better option is to stick the ball somewhere else, and then you can click 4, and now he's carrying the ball. So he's got the ball on his base. Okay. So that was sort of the last thing that I wanted to show, really. We've looked at rotating the figures. We've looked at changing their state from prone to stunned and so on. Actually, we didn't stun any players, but basically to stun a player, you click 3, and then it goes orange. So it's really good. We've got a green middle if they're standing up, a blue middle if they're knocked down, and then an orange middle if they are stunned, and a yellow middle if they're holding the ball as well. We've got the dice. We've got dice rolling, but it's really that simple. And basically, to play a game, you just set up a game multiplayer, and then you invite someone to play. You have to be their friend on Steam in order to play, but presumably you wouldn't want to play against your not friends anyway. Cool. Well, I hope that was helpful. Stop there, and there will no doubt be more to